Hey, it's Carl, and I want to share with you the last meetup I gave for 2025. And folks who know me, it sounds like I'm a little sick. I am. It was an interesting day, a challenging year. Yes, closing 2025. So I've put up about a dozen of my Sunday meetup recordings on my YouTube channel. And I mean, it's amazing material. And I've been doing this for 7 years now, five in particular since 2020. Every Sunday, it's my equivalent of church, and recording it, and great material. Basically, it's come to a point where I have so much guidance from my spirit guides on how exactly we can turn any reality to the direction we want. Because 2025, if you're like me, you didn't get everything you wanted. It was a tough year. It was a very challenging year. And I know a lot of spiritual friends who, it took them to the depths of their despair and their fears and their pessimism and all this stuff. And this is the so-called shadow work. You got to work on your thoughts and your feelings and how negative or positive you can be. Don't worry. We all have many different sides to our personality, and it's because the different sides to our personality, sometimes we're very creative and loving and flowing, positive. Other times we're very negative, scared, blaming, amping up the fears, being a victim or fantasizing ways to get revenge, all that stuff. You got to be able to look at that objectively, not judge it, not punish it, not push it away, because that's what negative belief systems do. So it's just really interesting to be a little sick today with a cold. And I often say how what I learned a lot of things from Lazarus years ago. Channeled entity back in the 80s really helped me. See, I've been doing this stuff for a long time. And even before that, I was having spiritual experiences that I couldn't really understand. So I am a person who has lifelong, amazing, intense spiritual experiences. I've been guided over the years to understand how it is. We are actually, basically, we're teleporting. We're teleporting back and forth between different universes based on what beliefs we hold. You are your own control panel for your own spaceship going through the multiverse. And you don't focus on trying to change the world you're in. It's kind of like that show Sliders. I mean, there were some cool episodes. But basically, like, you find yourself in a reality and you try to figure out, how does this reality work? What kind of world am I in? And on the TV show, of course, it's very simplistic and dramatic. It's like, what kind of world are we in? We're in the world, the alternate reality where, the Nazis won the world, or dinosaurs still, roam around, or just like a matriarchy instead of a patriarchy. It's like, so that's dramatic and fictional. And I don't want to go too long in this introduction to the introduction. I just want to celebrate the fact that what it's really like is subtle differences when you shift around and you realize, like, wait a minute, I was feeling good a few minutes ago and now I'm having these negative thoughts and I'm feeling really bad. It's because you shifted into a negative universe in the multiverse. Negative for you. Who knows what other people are trying to do there. You focus on changing yourself. The way you function is how you tune, how you move through the multiverse. This is a really, really important skill, vital skill, because, like I said, a lot of us, we don't feel like we're totally in the right world. Let the world split. Let it become very apparent that there are actually multiple worlds going on, and you are teleporting all the time. And you're teleporting based on your beliefs, the stories you tell yourself about how things will work. Now, usually the story people tell themselves when they have a cold, when somebody's sick, it's like, oh, you poor thing. And it's like, no, for me, it was an opportunity to get closer to myself. I had very powerful dreams of meeting with my human self. In one dream, very clear, looked like an early human, kind of like a Neanderthal, or just a big, hairy, strong guy. Maybe if you're a woman, yours is a big, hairy, strong woman. But no, the human self, the powerful, earth-centered, primal human self, you work with that. And you don't abandon them so that they go crazy in their survival reactions. You want to help yourself. Like, talk to me. I'm your spiritual side. You're my human side. Let's talk. And your human side is meant to tell you, like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. I feel really awful. What can we change here? See, if you leave it to your human self, they're going to react badly in the outer world, and they're going to try to change other people. And if you work with your human self, facing the patterns of what you don't like in the world and relate it back to, like, how do I do those kind of things? What kind of functionality are people demonstrating? And, do I like that lifestyle? Then I'll do more of it. If I don't like that lifestyle, I want to find any connections I have to it and change those. That's what you're doing, improving yourself. And it's real. I mean, some of the last negative beliefs to go are the ones that say, oh yeah, you're such a sucker. You've done all this like self-improvement. Now you're just like a better victim. It's like, well, don't be a better victim. Okay. Like, the fact that you've changed, let the universe change around you. Sliding through the multiverse. So when I got sick, I was like, I'm going to get closer to my body. And I had some really powerful experiences. And then this weekend, I was hoping my voice and such would clear up. It's a little deep. It's a little rough. But it was really interesting to see how would the meeting flow. And the meetup was great. I talked about the fundamentals in a very clear way of how to identify your beliefs, to understand more clarity. That's what's so important. I've talked about a lot of interesting esoteric topics this year in my Sunday meetups. And but it always comes back to how to get in the right reality for you, how to know that you know what you're doing and you can shift into the right universe for you. And then I talked about how, I talk later in how your seven goals in life, and the first one is the universal goal of learning how to create your own reality, design your own life successfully, and get the world that you belong in, not just be a misfit, not just be persecuted, not be, a lot of people have done that route. That's the victim. No, you are powerful. You are a powerful consciousness, as powerful as anyone else. And if you really, immerse yourself in the thoughts and feelings of a world that you want to live in, it will happen around you. So I've often said that what Lazarus taught me years ago, it's like real life, the way it really works with the universe, you don't have pain, you don't have suffering, you don't have to have constant fear, you don't have any chronic problems. You move through things, you solve things, and it's uncomfortable. It's worse, life is uncomfortable. So yeah, I have a cold. For my last meetup of the year, I wasn't in pain, but I was uncomfortable. Wait, did I say that clearly enough? I was not in pain. I was uncomfortable. Because there's a huge difference here. When you're uncomfortable, you take care of yourself. You know that your resources are limited, your energy, you're having some challenge. So you're going to really focus on your priorities. It's like, no more fantasy. I'm not rich. I'm not super healthy. I'm not whatever. I just have what I have to work with. So it can be very focusing to be uncomfortable, to have challenges, to have issues you're working on. But with positive beliefs, you know that there's a positive outcome. With negative beliefs, it's intolerable. Any kind of blockage of obstacle is intolerably painful, and there's suffering. It's never going to get better. So that's why with negative beliefs, everything becomes super painful really fast. You're in the wrong multiverse for you. You need to be in the multiverse where you have spiritual support, and there's a certain level of healing that comes when you work with your human self closely, when you're realistic about your current reality, your current limitations, and I have good intentions. I'm going to work with my soul and the source, my spirit guides. We're going to make things better here. You get really focused. It's really positive and productive. In fact, I talked about this in a few meetups ago. The meta joy and the survivability, my terms for it. You come up with these words, come up with your own terms for things. Well, what I mean is when you've worked through an uncomfortable situation with limitations but you figure out how things work. There's such a satisfaction that comes from figuring out how things work. So even if it was rough, hey, it wasn't painful. I wasn't suffering. It just wasn't the ideal. But you know what? I got really into it and I figured out what it means and how it works. And that's so satisfying. You feel a certain level of joy, a higher level of joy, a meta joy, I call it. That is spiritual. That's the spiritual satisfaction of figuring out what's going on and what beliefs to change and how to improve your life so that, I was right. The positive beliefs were right. The universe loves me. There's a solution to everything. I always have a way forward. I'm always good enough. There is a paradise waiting for me. And the survivability on the human side, that's my term for the feeling of like, this is survivable, okay? So if you are in terrible pain and you can't function, don't blame yourself because you can't function. You need to get rid of the pain. And the way you get rid of the pain, the way you heal it, is you work closer with your human self, so that your spiritual self gets the satisfaction of understanding what's going on. Your human self gets the comfort of knowing that, aha, my spiritual self is looking out for me and that I'm not stuck in this situation. We're going to make things better. And then, yeah, the two work together, and your body can naturally release pain relievers. I've had situations when I've been in pain and then I turn around and commit it to my human self, talk to myself, catch some false negative thinking and figure out where it comes from and change it to some positive thoughts. The pain vanished. It was really amazing. It was like you're switching into a different universe, really. But your pain, your chronic problems can really disappear very rapidly when you learn to work with your human self, your spirit-human partnership. It is so, so important. And it's so satisfying. It's love. It's relationship. It's the self-love they talk about. For years they've been saying self-love is the answer. You need to love yourself more. What did that really mean? Oh my God, this is what it meant. It meant I have a whole soul family, I call it, of a family inside of me, of all the parts of my soul and all the amazing spiritual world in me to work with, to talk to, and how good that feels in the world, starting with my own human self, my own spirit-human partnership. I start feeling really good. You hear that sound? Kitty. Kitty, what are you doing? You want to come say hi? All right, Kitty didn't want to be seen on camera, but for some reason, the cat was interrupting at that moment, if you heard a little sound in the background. And this is a classic example of have a sense of play. Work with your environment. Things happen for a reason. Figure out objectively, symbolically, in a caring, self-caring way. It's objective, but it's also full of caring. What's going on in your life? That's the secret. You are going to shift through the multiverse. So let me get back to what I was saying before. Like I've said, I put about a dozen of my meetups online, and I have hundreds. I have so much material to be more successful in 2026. And I want you to feel that way too, that you have amazing, powerful dreams and sides to you. And that is from the positive universe. That's more the real you. They're really separate universes. The times when you're really dysfunctional and feel bad, you're in the wrong universe for you. And you're a sensitive human being who's part of that. That's your energy field. Everybody needs to realize, I didn't talk about it so much in the meetup, but we're all in our own energy bubbles. So whatever energies you feel, yeah, other people could be doing that stuff too, but don't focus on changing them, because even if they cheer up, you're still in your energy. You got to change your energy, which comes from your beliefs again and again. So a lot of clarity to look forward to as I conclude this introduction to the introduction. And folks who know me know that I like to kind of talk. I have a lot to say. Would you believe I've had a lot of people in my life invalidate me, like, Carl, you talk too much, this and that. It's like, what? What about the things I was saying? They're so incredible. You talk too much, or you said this wrong, or you said that wrong. It's like, you've got to be able to stand up to all the layers of invalidating beliefs that you have. And don't get stuck on blaming yourself. Don't get stuck on blaming other people. People are obliged to react to their beliefs. So that's why you're trying to be a good person, and yet you have these negative thoughts going on, and they make you feel bad, and you react, and you turn defensive and pull back and miss your opportunities in life. You aren't there for the positive stuff the universe is handing you. That's what you're going to change. That's what I'm changing. I'd love to help you. I want to help more people in 2026. A little bit of a New Year's resolution here, and it's just sharing. So, I feel that this meetup, a little rough in spots, but very valuable. And for the meditation, I actually just was guided to just walk people through the 7-step value separation exercise. So there's a separate video for that you can look at. But yeah, this is about how to take charge of your reality. You learn from everything. You learn from everything that's happened. You shift into a universe, and you figure out from your sensory equipment of your spaceship, your vehicle, like, how do I feel? What thoughts am I having? How am I wanting to behave and react? And you figure out, well, this is the kind of world I'm in. It's based on these beliefs. And, beliefs are forever. The worlds that go with them are forever. You don't try to change the world. You shift your internal functioning. Oh, I'm going to switch to the positive beliefs, and that will change the thoughts and feelings I have, my abilities to act, and the world will change around me. So I'm excited for 2026. It's uncomfortable. Don't be perfect, okay? Be a hot mess. I'm a hot mess. I'm kind of sick. The last meetup, my last Sunday talk of the year of 2025, and what the heck? I think there's like real gold in this, so I want to share it. So that's it. My intro to the intro. Roll 'em.